All right, Hedgers, welcome back to another episode of The Hedge with Double D.
The Hedge with Double D.
All right, got to make sure I get my sounder in there. I think I forgot last time. So almost one of the most important things. That's what the crowd loves.
Yeah, we gotta have the bells and whistles. It doesn't work
Exactly.
without them.
um, this is Colin, as y'all know. Colin, thank you for joining me today. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course. Colin wanted to talk a little golf today. So I'm gonna let him take the reins on this. But Colin, you said you wanted to talk a little. You said the PGA and Live is merging, I believe. Is that what you said?
Yeah, this literally shocked the golf world, and it honestly reverberated out. So just the
Yeah.
mainstream, if you go on to Google News, the front page, you're going to see something about PGA Tour merging with Live Golf as well as the DP World Tour. And it's a huge thing because anybody that's followed golf, this has been a story for the last couple of years. With Greg Norman kind of leading the PR for Live. While the money is being backed by Saudi Arabia's People's Investment Fund, they shorten it to PIF, and essentially they've been, buying players, right?
Yeah.
So now what happened is, well, I guess I can take it back a little bit.
Yeah.
They were essentially buying players, starting this new league, and it was a team-based league, and you started plucking off Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Cam Smith, Bubba Watson, Abraham Answer, a whole bunch of people.
And we're talking
because of that,
hundreds of millions without even winning tournaments, right?
Oh, 100%. They're literally like, hey, here is $30 million a year for 5 years, or, here's $40 million, whatever it is.
And then
there
you get money on top of, if you win the tournament, do you get extra money also like normal?
Yes.
Woo.
On top of that.
Okay.
So it's a smaller field.
Yeah.
It's less tournaments per year. It's also only 3 days as opposed to 4 days with PGA Tour.
Okay.
And so they're getting paid crazy amounts of money. Hideki Matsuyama, who didn't take the Live money, he was offered reportedly $300 million. Tiger Woods was offered reportedly $900 million. I mean, we're talking the kind of money that is not, you can't fathom it.
Yeah.
And it's all from the Saudi Arabia's People Investment Fund. They're throwing this money out. And so aside from all the, the moral, questions about Saudi Arabia's, human rights, record and all of that stuff aside, the idea that a rival league is going to come in and just start throwing money at people to pluck people away.
Yeah.
Think about if there was a rival for the NBA and it was just a wealthy, group minus all the human rights stuff that we can get in on another day. But it really shook everything up. And what's interesting is at the beginning of this year, Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy were the ones that basically said, hey, we've got to stop the bleeding of people defecting to Live. And so they literally did a gather the troops of, this is the PGA Tour. We are not going to leave, everybody in this room. And it was agreed on. And on top of that, you get all of these elevated events for the PGA Tour where you're getting purses of $20 million and, the person winning $3 to $5 million for first place. So really, really big money on top of that. Now, I say all of that is that's kind of what's been brewing, what's been going on. And so the thought was that it was going to be two rival leagues, and that was it. And where the Live is where the Live. They could still play in the majors. We saw Brooks Koepka getting second place in the Masters, and then obviously first place winning for the PGA Championship. And you also got U.S. Open 2 weeks away. So really, really big stakes. And the fact that it really sucks, honestly. The fact that Live is now basically being, really the PGA is getting swallowed into Live, and Live's going to be no longer starting next year. But it's all with the backing of the Saudi Arabia People's Investment Fund.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. And so basically now it's looking like all of the live players are kind of getting their cake and eating it too.
100%. And that's the reason why naturally, if you were, questioning, hey, should I take this money? You could feel slighted from that sense of like, hey, I was loyal to the brand of
Mhm.
PGA Tour because I thought I was doing what was right for the legacy of the tournament. And now you're just going to get in bed with the people that we were, rivals to.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And Jay Monahan, the commissioner of the PGA Tour, I mean, he's got a lot of questions to answer because it is absolutely ridiculous. And actually, today at the Canadian Open, they had a players only meeting with Jay Monahan at 4 p.m. today, and there's already some stuff leaking, and it's pretty wild because the PGA players are absolutely pissed at him.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Um, Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because yeah, like you said, yeah, they passed up on all the money and they tried to be faithful to the cause. And I guess you got the bigger purses was the the thank you for staying, I guess. But yeah, so well, but another question is, so if enough people had what's the word I'm thinking for? Can't think of the right word, but I had gone to live, would that like end the Masters and the you know?
No, so the Masters is actually separate from the PGA Tour,
Okay.
like the PGA Commissioner,
Oh, okay.
reach essentially. They make their own decisions, and so
Okay.
they were one of the first ones when Live was kind of being discussed, or are they going to get, barred from, championship play, majors play? The Masters were the first one that says no, they're going to be able to play
Okay.
as long as they were a past master or qualify essentially.
Are
So
the
no,
rest
that's the Masters won't get changed up, but it is going to be interesting of like what does the tour look like next year? Because
yeah,
this year nothing is going to change,
yeah,
but next year what is it going to look like?
yeah.
And it I don't know. I don't like it.
What do you think would be some possible changes that we could see, like good or bad?
Yeah, so the guys that the commissioner is saying is like he's trying to grow the game of golf, yada yada yada, but
I'm sure
he's
it's
really
not.
just taking, yeah, he's taking a bunch of money
Yeah.
and he's trying to run out. Well, he's not. He basically said like in the thing of he's gonna stay on as commissioner, but Joel Damon, who's actually he's a like top 75, top 100 PGA player. He was at the meeting and he was quoted to have said, to have you commissioner just wake up one day and decide that we're going to this rival golf league, that was shocking.
Mhm.
So that is a, top 100 guy, certainly, uh,
Yeah.
just being fed up with this. And
Yeah.
that Rory and, whoever feels the same way.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be pretty interesting. But to answer your question about what's it gonna look like next year, they were mentioning this is all preliminary, so we don't really know. But could it be instances where you have team golf, almost like a Ryder Cup kind of thing of live guys versus PGA Tour guys, or are you going to bring the team aspect from live into the PGA in some fashion? I personally would hate if the latter part happens. I'm cool if like a Ryder Cup style.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, when you
That
say
would be cool, but now the fact that you're partnered with them, it's kind of, it doesn't actually hold the same value.
yeah.
But the team aspect would be terrible.
Can
Also expect
you explain to me when you say team aspect? Is it like 2-on-2, on 2-on-2 or whatever?
no. So the way the live, it's like you have a team, so you can pick four guys. So they've got like Dustin Johnson has a team, Phil Mickelson has a team. Um,
Okay.
I can't remember who else has a team. Um, and essentially Brooks Koepka has a team. And there is a point system at the very end of the year of who's the best team.
Okay.
But also it's individualized if you're winning individual tournaments and you
Okay.
basically kind of go
Okay.
up and down from there. But it's all, I mean, honestly, it's all gimmicky. It's live
Yeah.
golf just trying to, do something that's,
Yeah.
quote unquote exciting.
Yeah. Try to
Also
be different.
expect probably go outside of the United States for tournaments.
Okay.
That's definitely a heavy possibility.
Yeah.
Outside of obviously the majors and the Canadian Open.
Yeah. Okay. Right, man, that's a lot. So it basically, we don't know. It's a lot that could happen, a lot that might not happen.
Yeah, it's.
If
I
you,
mean, it's one day. This is just the first day. It hasn't even been 24 hours. So it's like,
yeah,
who knows what's about to come
yeah.
out.
So if you're someone like Rory McIlroy or one of the top golfers that's still in live, our boy Tony and Colin, do you have leverage? Do you have any options to? Is there anything you can do if you don't like this?
I think that you have to try to push. I mean, that's tough. I mean, really, I think you just have to throw your ire at Jay Monahan because he's basically making all the players take all the shrapnel for all this stuff and making, defend the PGA Tour. And meanwhile, he's in the back, raking in all this money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it sucks,
Yeah.
honestly. So.
Do you think the tour was losing money after this? Is that like, no?
No, it's just greed. It's bottom line greed. Because what's interesting, and a lot of people think that this moved a lot quicker than most people, assumed. Just kind of like the regular public, like myself. I thought it was just going to be separate. That was what it was going to be. But there was a talk since they were suing each other and countersuing each other, the Live Golf and the Saudi Arabian People's Investment Fund, they were trying to do discovery and essentially look at the PGA Tour's nonprofit status. And so you could, you've got 50 plus years of potentially looking at, taxes and things like that.
Yeah.
So there was talk that like that could be a reason that Jay Monahan didn't want to try to open up those books, but I don't know. That's kind of thinking it's a little intense, but
yeah. Now I remember hearing, I don't think they are anymore, but at one point, like the NBA and maybe the NFL were nonprofits, like back in the day, which is just a silly thought if you think about it.
Oh yeah. Well, and to that point, like in this partnership, it's strange, like the wording. I am not a lawyer, so I'm not very good at reading the legalese, but it was essentially the PGA Tour is still remaining a nonprofit organization while the umbrella is a for-profit organization. So, and it said that it's yet to be named, which I really hope the PGA Tour doesn't just like change its name and like, oh, it's just not this.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I like the old school way of it. It's, it's something that's like a legacy. It's been there for a long time. And yeah, I don't like it getting shaken up. I feel like an old man, but I'm comfortable with that.
Oh, I think I think it's fair. The main thing I heard when it first started, like you were saying, when people were going to live, whether it was Phil or Dustin Johnson or whoever,
yeah,
was that it was like where the money's coming from, is kind of unethical or very unethical.
Yeah.
And I guess, you got to take that with you can't always take the moral high ground, moral police, because there's every company to a point, every big company is kind of unethical, There's lots of bad things that go into your iPhone and your shoes and stuff like that. But it's hard to directly take the money as your main income straight from people who are known to have beheaded journalists live on air type of stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's just very, very strange. I mean, it would be in essence of like Russia's government or China's government or North Korea's government or Iran of saying like, hey, we're actually going to buy the NFL.
Yeah.
And we're going to partner with our, football league.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, what?
No, I mean, yeah, dude, imagine if LeBron James said he's going to go play in Russia or China.
I mean, it's bonkers. And then add to all of it is the fact that the CEO was like, has been suing Live and like telling them like, hey, if anybody defects, we're going to block you from this. We're going to block you from that. And then now you just take their money. Like, my thing is, if you're going to choose, you got to choose and be stuck with it. You can't be waffling on a potential like rival league that's now like y'all are in bed with, and
Yeah.
it's, they're like, oh, we're growing the game of golf. Like, man, like y'all just wanted extra yachts. Like,
Yes. Yeah. A lot of hypocrisy, it sounds like, for sure. And just, yeah,
yeah.
greed. Oh, that's
So
too bad.
it's gonna be interesting. The next couple days, what comes out of this player meeting is gonna be really, really interesting.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. You still gonna watch all the majors?
yes,
Oh
I
yeah.
love golf. I
Yeah.
love golf. And I will actively, just like I have been at the majors, actively rooting against the live golf players.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
It's what I,
That's fair.
it's what I do.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that, yeah, I mean, at a certain
Yeah.
point, yeah, if you don't watch golf, that's not going to do anything. It's not like they're not going to feel any pain from you not watching.
Yeah, they're not concerned about me.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's fair. And honestly, I think, yeah, if you don't like it, find a platform to talk about it like we are here, I think
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah.
that's true. And then we'll just take them down brick by brick.
Yes. Gnaw at what is it? The knees of the
Yeah,
establishment.
right.
All right.
Locking the gears.
Well, let's switch it up to a little bit brighter note. I'm gonna talk a little tennis, little French Open, little Roland Garros, the clay courts, baby. Um, I am not as informed on this as Colin is in golf, but we're still gonna talk because I still watch all the majors and I love them. Colin, have you watched any French Open yet?
So I have not watched any French Open. I don't know anything about tennis. So, and the fact that you said clay courts, I was like, oh, okay, so they're on clay courts. So the French Open is clay courts.
Yes.
Got
All
it.
right. Well, we'll explain it all. And honestly, on your time, so it's especially in the earlier tournaments, it starts at like 1 a.m. my time, so it's only
That's
in the middle of the
intense.
night for you, basically. It ends at like 5
Yeah.
a.m.
And then Wimbledon is grass, right?
Yes, so Wimbledon's on grass, and then I think the
US
others are
is
just the
hard,
regular, yeah, hard court, yeah, the
hard
British and the
surface.
US,
Look
yeah.
at me.
Yep.
All right. Well, who to that point, since I
So,
don't know anything and I want to watch this weekend, so I'll have to record it
okay.
obviously.
Well,
But who should I be paying attention to?
okay, so this weekend, see, what's today? Tuesday? It's basically gonna be done this weekend. Let me see. I think Saturday,
Great. So I need to watch now.
I think Saturday's the championship. So, and it's hard to watch. For some reason, FanDuel, you can watch it live on FanDuel, which is where I've watched a lot of it. So you can go to the individual match, and for some reason, there's a live video on FanDuel. You can't full screen it, so you just kind of got to make, zoom in on your screen a little bit, but it is what it is. But I bet you can watch replays a lot easier than live. I bet you can watch replays on YouTube and stuff. But for this weekend / the rest of this week, the women's semifinals are almost set. You've got Swiatek and Coco Gauff, the top-rated American left as Coco Gauff. They're going to be fighting for the semifinal spot. And then on the other side of the tournament, you still got two quarterfinals. I'm sorry. Yes, yeah, you still got the two other matches left. I'm trying to pull it up because the names are hard to remember, honestly.
Do you think Coco can do it?
No.
No.
Straight up, no. Swiatek has been so dominant over the last couple years. I mean, Coco definitely can. It's never, you never say never, but I'm definitely not betting on her. Swiatek, I think, is like minus 1,200. And Coco Gauff is number 6 rated tennis player, so it isn't like, she's not even, they're still very closely rated, but Swiatek, that just shows you how dominant she's been lately. She's number 1 versus number 6, and she's minus 1,200. So I'm sorry. That's one of the quarterfinals to get into the semifinal. The other semifinal is set, which was done today, and you've got the number 2 seed Sabalenka versus someone who I don't know, Mukova. So I think she's from the Czech Republic, maybe. But what I'm focused on is the third semifinal that's going to go tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. You've got my girl Ons Jabeur. She is the Tunisian lady who I have. I think last year I started betting on her. Had a couple of free bets, put a big $25 bet on her to win, and she made it all the way to the finals against Swiatek. She was like plus 4,000. So I hedged like crazy, and that's when I really got the hang of the hedge. Made a bunch of money because Swiatek took it to her. So still made the money on the hedge. Jabor lost, but we were still happy she made it. She's in the quarterfinal against the Brazilian, who I don't know, Haddad Maia, probably Haddad Maia. Because the top seed in her they kind of put the brackets, in 4 brackets like the NCAA tournament. In her bracket, the top seed, Rybakina, I think she got sick one match and didn't even play, and so they called it a walkover, and so she went out like 2 rounds ago. So which was big for Jabor, because now all she's got to do is beat the Brazilian this tomorrow morning, and she will be in the semifinals against probably Swiatek.
Okay.
And if anyone was, let me share my screen here. If any of y'all watched my initial French Open talk, there we go. Jabor was our big bet. Was our main, on the women's side, our main bet. We had Tsitsipas on the men's side. I'll talk about him. He was very disappointing today. But Jabor, we had 2,200 on my FanDuel. I actually got a 50% bonus, so she's at 3,200 to win it all for me on FanDuel. So if she wins this next match, I'm going to hedge like crazy when she goes against Swiatek in the semifinals. I'm going to be cheering for her, but I don't think she'll beat Swiatek. Swiatek's dominant. But even her to win it all was like minus like 175 at the beginning. So like it's just not worth putting money on it. But we're gonna hedge like crazy, and then if she beats Swiatek, I would imagine. Well, I don't know. It's gonna be very close. No one's gonna be a heavy favorite if she goes against Sabalenka in the finals. So cheering for Jabor. Hopefully she wins. We'll get our money. And it'll make me look smart. So go Jabor. On the men's side, it's gonna probably come down to Djokovic and Alcaraz, the Spaniard Carlos Alcaraz. I believe his first name's Carlos. They have been the heavy favorites throughout the whole tournament. I took Tsitsipas as my kind of underdog to go to the semifinals and to win it all. We knew he would have to beat Alcaraz in these quarterfinals here, and I was hoping maybe he could jump over the hump here, but he put in a very disappointing performance today. He looked like he didn't even want to be out there. It was just like the crowd was almost like booing him at one point. He kind of put up an effort in the third set, but he got beaten 3 straight sets, and it wasn't even close. Honestly, it was not even fun to watch. The Djokovic, on the other hand, played really well today against, I'm not sure who this guy is, the Russian Kachanov. He lost the first set and then just powered back and kind of just took him down the whole time. The Djokovic is just looking so much stronger than everybody. Just every shot, he's just where he wants to go and just like so powerful.
Is there value in just kind of going chalk and just betting him like all the way, or is it too like not enough?
Yes, so there is because Nadal's not in this tournament. I'm guessing even people that don't follow tennis know Nadal is dominant on the clay.
Yeah.
That's where he's won like all his majors. But Nadal did not play this tournament. He's been out. So even though Alcaraz was the favorite, even as far as like the third round, they were all plus money. Alcaraz was like plus 140. Djokovic was plus 190, which is when Dylan took him at plus 190. And I put a little bonus bet in there because I was like, oh, I agree with that, Dylan. Good call. As Dylan called it, the year of the Joker. I liked that. But today is the first time that Alcaraz has gone to minus money. So he is officially, so if you could have jumped on it before then, you would have had very good odds. I would imagine you can get, I don't think they can play each other in the finals, though, is the problem. I'm pretty sure they're going to face each other in the semifinals next. If I can pull it up here. Yeah. So in the semifinals, it's going to be Alcaraz and Djokovic. So, that's where you're going to be going. I think it'd still be worth taking Djokovic. Alcaraz is really good. He's a lot younger. He's only like 20 or 22. Djokovic is like 36, 38, something. But man, he's looked good.
If you had to parlay men's and women's champion together to get extra juicy, who would be the two people that you put together? Djokovic and then
And Swiatek. Well, if you want it
Swiatek.
super juicy, if you want to be safe, I'd still pick Djokovic over Alcaraz right now. But if you want to be safe, I'd say Djokovic and Swiatek. If you want to make it juicy, maybe you take Sabalenka because she's got the best chance to make it to the finals as opposed to Jabeur here. Because she doesn't have to play Swiatek until the finals, basically.
Okay.
So and she's number 2 rated, so it's not like she's bad at all. It's just Swiatek is just far and away number 1. It's almost like the Serena thing.
Yeah.
If you want another juicy pick on the men's side, the second to lowest guy left is the German Zverev. He's looking really good, and he's really good on the clay court also. He's been favored a lot, even against people that are higher ranked than him, which makes me think that, you know, the experts know how much better he is on the clay court than a lot of these other people.
Yeah.
So that could be a fun little underdog pick to take right now. And he won't have to face Djokovic or Alcaraz until the final. So
Okay.
he's probably got the easiest match tomorrow morning. And then he'll have to face 2 of these guys I don't know, honestly, even though they're highly rated, Rude and Rune. We'd have to face the winner of them, but he might even be favored in that, honestly, because he's been.
Okay, you like his path. All right.
Yeah, I do. I like the Zverev path, the Sabalenka path, but if you want to be safe, Djokovic for sure, and then Swiatek definitely.
You heard it here, people. We got juicy picks.
We got juice and we got safe. Whatever you want to take. But either way, I mean, Djokovic is not the number 1 favorite, so you can still consider him a little juicy there. And I think he's a good pick here. So either way, it's going to be fun to watch. The clay is always fun to watch because, you know, it's hard to get your footing. As you got to run to the right side and you kind of slide as you hit it, so it's harder to get back to the left. So you have a lot of people running back and forth. Separate note, I don't know if you saw it. It's kind of, I shouldn't laugh. There was a doubles match where one of the teams got disqualified because she wasn't paying attention and just kind of hit a ball. I don't think it was out of frustration. She just kind of hit a ball, and the ball, one of the I'm drawing a blank here. One of the ball girls was not looking and just got hit in the face with it.
Then she got racked.
Yep, got hit in the face, and to make it worse, she was crying. And I think it was because, you know, she was embarrassed on live TV and everything. It was crying. And it's happened before that people have been disqualified for this. Djokovic got disqualified because he did it out of frustration and just like rocketed a ball to the side and smacked one of them, and rightfully so got disqualified. And then Nadal has done it by accident when he was like returning a serve. But I feel like the way that he reacted, he ran over immediately and consoled them and was saying he's sorry. Blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
I was about to say, I was like, you gotta if you're an accident, that has to be an immediate reaction of, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
And these girls did not do that. I still think it was an accident. I mean, she may have even been trying to hit it to the person and thought the person would be paying more attention. I don't exactly know, you know, who knows. But her reaction was definitely more just like, oops.
Calculated attack. Could it be?
Yes. And the other team definitely like was trying to say, oh, you should get disqualified for that. You should, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, and it ended up, you know, they ended up getting it. So, you know, you could, you know, I don't know, you know, you gotta, if you know the rules, pull them in your favor, whatever it takes, you know. So it was an interesting,
the Kyle Lowry way to play.
Yeah, do what it takes. Some people, I guess, I don't know. Maybe the girl flopped. No, I'm just kidding.
Did she flop?
Did she? No, you can't say that. She's like a 12-year-old girl, so you don't want to talk bad about her. It was really sad, embarrassing, and like you don't want to. Yeah, you hate to see this, and I hate that they were showing her on live TV so much crying. But
yeah, that's bad.
Yeah,
if it's just a kid, it's like just let's do that off camera.
Yeah, exactly. Like we said, like with Nadal did the right thing. You go to console her, you say I'm sorry, give her a racket, you know, do something.
Yeah.
Sign something for her. You know, it's not a big deal. Like you say, if it's an accident, it's an accident. So
yeah,
but that was definitely took a lot of the headlines lately. Interesting thing to see. And there's people going back and forth on if they should be disqualified or not. I'm kind of on the side that they should be. I mean, a rule's a rule. And if you don't show any sort of remorse or whatever, then, you know, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, if you're not showing like immediate regret, that's That's like a red card at that point.
Yeah, the red card.
Let's get y'all out of here.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and end it on that note.
Look at that. We're talking about broken faces and a whole bunch of money.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, this is what y'all want to
Part
hear.
one.
Let's get us out of here. Disqualify us until the next segment. We'll be but do stick around because we will be back next. We're gonna actually talk about the NBA finals. We're gonna go game 3. We'll talk a little bit about what happened in game 2, where we were wrong, where we were right, and what we think is gonna happen game 3. And then we will give you those official bets, official picks for game 3. So stick around. We'll see y'all in a second. All right. Thanks for sticking with us here on, I guess, the part 2 of the Hedge. We are going to be talking NBA game 3 today. Oh, forgot the intro. The Hedge with double D. Very important.
The Hedge with double D.
Can't forget that.
Gotta have that.
Dylan was the only one that hit on game 2. He took the Heat points. So good job there, Dylan. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for keeping us afloat.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I got back on the good foot. Unfortunately, it was contrary to what we all or everybody else was on, but good to get a W and keep my gambling afloat because it's not been the best couple of weeks for me as far as the NBA. But we're doing it. We're here. It was a great game, man. I mean, like I said, I think the Heat were going to get in rhythm. I think we saw that. The Nuggets aren't going to be, and it's scary to see them lose at home because we thought they would really take these easily. I thought they were still going to win the game, so I did take the points. I obviously didn't take the money line.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, I thought it was a pretty good game. What did you notice about the game?
I feel like the main takeaway is going to be for the series is if the Heat are going to shoot, 45, 50% from 3 points from 3 land, then they're going to have a good chance at winning. If they're going to shoot 20, 30%, they're going to have no chance type of thing. So otherwise it's like, let Jokic get his, try to stop the other guys, and it's up to kind of Murray to step up. So, and he had that one shot at the end.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he had it. I mean, it was right there for him, and that would have actually been the 4. I think that was the 4-3 that would have complete part of one of my.
Yeah,
I did have him over 3.5, but I didn't hit either one of it. It was, like I said, hey, Heat plus 8.5. At least we got one.
At least we got something. We missed everything else. I swear we're missing every one of these parlays. We're missing one leg of them. Like for me, it was the Nuggets. I had the Nuggets minus 3.5, so that obviously did not hit. But we had Butler under. That's another thing. Butler, I can't tell. He shot what kind of would scare me as a Heat fan is Butler shot 5 3-pointers, which is not what he usually does, which is like, I don't know, is he hurt? Is he just can he not go inside to get those fouls because the size of the Nuggets? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but that's his game, is going inside, forcing fouls, getting free throws, not shooting 3-pointers. So that would scare me as a Heat fan.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we want to keep seeing him shoot from out there. And to kind of segue, I know we got to be a little quicker today because I am on a time crunch here. But tonight, I think it's a bounce back. I think Jimmy gets home and gets right. He gets back to Miami. He's got his, he's sleeping in his own bed. They got a win and they got some momentum. But really, he hasn't performed at the same level that he has earlier in the playoffs yet in this series. I don't think. I mean, has he gone? Correct me wrong. Has he gone over even 25 points in either of these 2 games?
No, I think he went like 15 and 21. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Gabe Vincent was last time. So,
yeah, Gabe Vincent looked great. I mean, like I said, I don't think that continues. And just to get into kind of my picks, if you want me to go ahead and throw them out there.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, go jump right in. I'm excited. But yeah, so I think it's well, the spread's at +3. I think that's about right. I think the Nuggets still should be favored here, but I mean, we've seen the Heat in this underdog spot at home against the Celtics and against obviously teams that are favored to win the series, and yeah, they win. So I'm staying away from the spread tonight. My pick of the night though is going to be just one pick. I'm going to just keep it simple. I'm going to load up. It's going to be Jimmy Butler points tonight, 25.5. I think, like I said, he gets home. He slept in his bed. They got a W. Playing in front of a home crowd. They're going to get there late. Jimmy's going to be lighting up in the third and the fourth quarter. And if they're predicting a close game, it's going to be him, down the stretch, right? If we're looking at a 2 to 4 to 5 point game, every time the Heat bring the ball down, he's going to touch it. So I do expect him to get his buckets tonight. Probably around, probably 30-point game tonight. So even maybe sprinkle that if you want to get a little more juice. But I will take the over on 25.5.
25.5. Okay. Andrew, are you on DraftKings seeing that?
That's on FanDuel. And FanDuel's doing some cool profit boost. I got a 30% profit boost on that. So from minus 102 up to like plus 130, I think what it was, or something like that, plus 128. So yeah, I mean, that's, again, I'm just not going to bet against him at home. So I do think, I think he gets back on track tonight.
All right, nice. I like that, man. I mean, yeah, it's hard to bet against Jimmy. The only thing, I don't know what I'm gonna do with Jimmy tonight. I might buy some points and go under, because I don't know. Like you said, he's gonna go off one of these games. But the fact that he doesn't seem to be attacking a lot right now, I don't know. Is he saving himself, or is he just, I don't know. And if he is saving himself,
are you injury concerned or?
Yeah, kind of. I am a little bit. I know he injured his ankle like early in maybe the Knicks series or something like that, or maybe it was the Celtics. I can't remember, but he just doesn't seem like he's attacking like he has been. And it's been like he hasn't really taken over since, I want to say, like early in the Celtics series. So I don't know. And maybe it's just the way the Nuggets are playing them. Maybe it's just Aaron Gordon is kind of really good at defending him, and the rest of the Nuggets are defending the paint well. So I don't know. If anything, I might stay away from Jimmy in general, or I might buy some points and take him under like 28 or something like that. But
yeah. I mean, I'm just going with my gut here.
Yeah.
Say what?
Y'all will just have to wait for the official pick for me, though.
Oh yeah, I know you got to do yours later, but yeah, real quick, I'll also say, are we thinking that Bam is going to do it tonight too at home? He's been playing well this series.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's definitely stepped up, and that's somebody I'm going to be watching, of course. But you're right, and you just real quick to your point, Aaron Gordon. We've talked about it before, but Aaron Gordon has a great track record against Jimmy. I think you brought that up and brought that to our attention. So he and Aaron Gordon's a good defender, and obviously proofs in the pudding. Jimmy's had 2 bad games, not bad, but relative to what you would expect in a playoff, from a superstar.
Yeah.
Worse performances than expected. So yeah, man. But I'm excited. And honestly, if I'm leaning to just also sprinkle on the Heat money line, getting a little juice. Thinking that Miami. I'm thinking that we're looking at another Boston, Miami kind of situation. The favorites all curvers. But pick my official picks tonight and just take the points for Jimmy Butler.
All right. I agree with you, where Miami is the opposite of Boston, where instead of only playing well when their backs are against the wall, they like go for the kill once they smell blood in the water type of thing. So I could see that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But all right, man. Do you have to jump off?
I do, brother. I do. I'll be but I'm excited. I'll be watching the game tonight. Thanks for having me on, man. And yeah, let's make some money.
All right, man. Well, thank you for joining me. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'll just say I'll be looking for your picks later, because I'm going to need some other action as well.
All right. Sounds good, man. Well, thank you for joining me. And yeah, we'll be back for more official picks in a second. See you, man.
See you, buddy.
All right, welcome back again to the Hedge with Double D.
The Hedge with Double D.
All right. You just saw Dylan make his official picks. Colin is now joining me. He's going to make his official picks. I'm going to make my official picks. Sometimes it's hard to get us all together. We've all got jobs. We're all over the country. until we get that, that live money sponsorship, we're all gonna have to work other jobs.
Oil money, oil
Yeah,
money.
until we get that oil money. um, so yeah, so thank y'all for sticking with us. We're gonna be talking just game 3. Maybe Tony will join. Tony might even join us for another segment later, so we'll see. But we're gonna be talking game 3 right now, making our picks. Colin, we both missed our picks on game 2. You had the Jokic triple double, and we both had Denver winning, which ruined both of our picks with the Heat winning. So that hurt.
Yeah.
But I was kind of telling Dylan, one of my main takeaways was that Jimmy Butler still doesn't look, like the playoff Jimmy we've seen the last couple of years during this series, or really the end of the Celtics series. I don't know if he's injured. I don't know if it's just the size of the Nuggets not letting him get inside, but the fact that he took 5 3-pointers kind of worries me as a if I were a Heat fan. That's just not his game. He gets inside, he takes it to the hoop, he tries to draw fouls and shoot free throws. And maybe it's just the way the Nuggets are playing him and they're forcing him to do that. What have you seen about that? Do you think it's all more on the Nuggets or more on Jimmy?
Yeah, I think that he is hurt a little bit, whether he, tweaked his ankle, in game 7 and still hasn't kind of recovered. But you can definitely tell that he's not taking, those drives like he normally does. And you illustrated perfectly the fact that he's actually taking 3-pointers, number 1, and then number 2, the fact he's taking 5 of them really shows you that he's not in his right space. And honestly, we really kind of swung and a miss. Dylan was right on the money for game 2. We should have just taken the points with Miami because we knew it was going to be a close game.
Yeah.
I kind of assumed it was going to be, a 4 or 5 point game, but they really fourth quarter, did it once again. They outscored them. I believe it was about 13 points or something like that.
Yeah. They just came out hot. Even Duncan Robinson again is taking over.
Well, and a couple of those Duncan Robinson, one of them was he was literally moving, it was moving as he's taking the shot. So, these aren't just set yourself and then shoot. He was actually making difficult shots.
Yeah.
And I believe there was they had one of the highest shooting percentages comparative to the shots that they were actually taking. So, they were shooting great shots, or not shooting great shots.
Yeah.
They were making really, really difficult shots, essentially.
Yeah.
So
that was another thing I said to Dylan, where a big takeaway seems to be if the Heat are making 40-50% of their 3-pointers, they're going to have a chance to win. If they're shooting 30%, 35%, they don't have a chance, basically.
Yeah.
Which
and
is,
we did.
So that's a lot of the NBA today, honestly.
Yeah,
for
sure. And then on top of that, we were, I was talking about them, how small they were in game 1, and then immediately you see Kevin Love playing decent minutes, and I expect that to continue. Kevin Love will definitely be out there because they got to get bodies in some fashion. So
seriously, you got to get rebounds. You got to just kind of stuff. On defense, stuff up the paint. On offense, Kevin Love just kind of sits in the corner and shoots a couple threes. But that's what they need from him to make a couple. So, I don't know. I would imagine they keep playing Kevin Love. Maybe keep the Caleb Martin minutes down. I don't know. I would imagine he's not still suffering too much from being sick with all the fluids and whatever they can give those players. They can get over pretty quickly. But he just seems to be kind of not playing as well, which we kind of talked about before the series. It's going to be tough for some of these newer players in their first finals.
Yeah.
And then you still have the Tyler Hero factor. Is he going to come back? Is he going to, how many minutes is he going to take from who if he does come back? Is he going to be effective at all? Or is he going to be a decoy that kind of spaces the floor for them? You never know.
Well, and to that point, we initially thought at the beginning, if he does come back, he'll pull away from Duncan Robinson's minutes. But with Duncan Robinson playing the way he did game 2, is that actually going to happen? Or is it going to be, a little bit from Struce, a little bit from Vincent, and then
Yeah.
gonna go from
Lowry,
there.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So, because Vincent's arguably the best player out there for them right now from the first two
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's tough to say. Yeah, but the Heat all season, I mean, all playoffs really have been tough to say who's gonna besides it seemed like it was always Jimmy, and now the last like 5 games, it's like, well, I don't know, is it gonna be Jimmy? Yeah.
Well, it's crazy. I mean, for the last like 2 weeks, it's just been like, well, Miami doesn't have like the horses that they're going to be able to, withstand this, and they're not going to be able to do this, like all that kind of stuff.
And they keep proving us and everyone wrong. Well, as we do have we technically have them winning it all, so we've believed in them a little bit, with a bonus bet. So.
I didn't believe. I still don't believe.
Honestly,
I'm literally just. I'm like on this, dangerous. Like I feel like I'm just a little buoy that's like Miami's not good enough, and I'm gonna be drowning as they win the finals. Like they're still not good enough.
Still not good enough yet. I mean, yeah, I'm the one that took the big bet, and I still don't believe in them. So
it's
can't blame
crazy.
you. Yeah. All right, let me get this set up here. All right, well, let's go ahead and move into the official picks. Right while we're at it. I think it's okay. I'm watching my baby monitor here to make sure my little girl doesn't wake up, but we're looking good. So no worries here. She just little movement there. We're good though. All right. I'm gonna be focusing on 3-pointers tonight.
Okay.
More so banking on Denver to hit their threes, but I do have 2 from each team. But one of them is just Max Strus to make 1 3-pointer, which kind of seems like a gimme that just adds like 30 points to the prop, type of thing. But I'll go ahead and go first. I am going to take well, the first thing that gives my bet probably the most juice is I'm going to take the Nuggets on the spread. I'm going to take the Nuggets -2.5. I think they bounce back. I do think they're the better team. I don't think, like you said, Miami hits the shots they're not supposed to make, basically. And the way that Malone was like, calling out his team, we got to try harder, blah, 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 which, I mean, it's hard to tell when people are trying, but the Heat did have a lot of open 3-pointers, so I'm guessing that's what he meant by that. So close out on the threes, make them harder. In the first game, they had a lot of open 3-pointers. They just missed like every shot at the beginning. So, I do think basically it seems like kind of like Michael Porter Jr. He didn't play that many minutes. I would imagine that was kind of because he didn't like the effort, so he pulled him. I think he's going to let him kind of prove himself this time. I think Porter Jr. shoots better, which is why I'm going to have him making 2 plus 3-pointers. And I've got Jamal Murray making 2 plus 3-pointers. This seems like a kind of a safer bet. And then on the Miami side, I'm going to take, like I said, I'm taking Strus to make 1, which seems very safe. And then I'm going to keep riding Gabe Vincent and have Gabe Vincent make 2 3-pointers. The only thing I would add to this, and I'm very tempted to add to this because that makes it plus 330, which is pretty juicy. The only other thing I'm tempted to add to this is a Jimmy Butler on maybe buy some points and put him under. Because like we've talked about, he hasn't been himself. I don't know if it's injury or if it's just the way the Nuggets are playing him. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe he's saving himself for this one big game. But I don't want to bet on it being this game, basically. So I'm looking right here. If I add Jimmy Butler, woo, that makes it fun. All right, let's do it. I'm adding Jimmy Butler -26.5 also.
Okay.
Under.
Do you like the fact that if Butler is like, at 80%, that he's not going to be fighting for those rebounds? Do you think there's any value in under 6.5 rebounds plus 104?
Ooh, interesting. Yeah. I think honestly, I was thinking assists might be a better value because if he is, he's going to be passing him more. So maybe both of those. Maybe rebounds under and assists over.
Yeah, it looks like assist is 6.5. It's -25 for the over and -102 for the under.
Okay. Oh, 102. Okay. No, yeah, see, I like the under there. So -125 isn't great odds, but I still think maybe you can even bump it up to 7.5 assists and get like 130 or something. But
Yeah.
I'll stick just with the points because the assists also mean the guys have to hit the 3-pointers, and who knows if they will tonight. Or it means he's gonna get the pick and roll with Bam going, which I'm gonna stay away from Bam. He's been burning me a lot lately. So again, my official picks, it's like a 6-pick same game parlay, but it's a lot of very low odds. So it's still going to be very juicy at -525. But again, it's the Nuggets -2.5, Porter to make 2 threes, Jamal Murray to make 2 threes, Gabe Vincent to make 2 threes, Max Strus to make 1 3, and Jimmy Butler to go under 26.5. So that's again contradicting with Dylan's pick where he has Butler over 25.5. So me and Dylan love button heads on Butler's points. But again, we can still both hit if he gets 26 exactly. So we got the sweet spot there. So that again is 525. Side note for y'all, until I hit another bet, I am doing $5 bets to make sure I don't go too far under, because of y'all, as y'all know, I've got the hedge down, so we're gonna make big money at the end of this series, and I want to make sure I end up in the green. So this is going to be a $5 bet for that.
He's a hedging machine.
Hedging machine, baby. All right, I'm gonna put my pick on the sheet here, Colin. We've talked a lot about all the stats, all the player props. What are your official picks, though?
Yeah, I was tinkering around. I was thinking about just doing, 2 straight up bets, but that's no fun. So I'm gonna do one single bet and then one 2-leg parlay. So to that point, I think that you made a great point about Malone and criticizing the lack of effort. He was absolutely pissed game 2, and so I expect game 3 them to come out like gangbusters on their defense, as well as constant movement on offense. So to that point, I think it's easy money. Nuggets first quarter spread -0.5 point. I think that they will certainly be able to be winning by 1 point by the end of the first quarter. So give me
Colin, I gotta
Nuggets.
stop you real quick. Keep giving your picks for the fans. I'll be right back. Lily is waking up. I'll bring her down to join the show.
You are all good. You are all good. All right, so Nuggets first quarter spread, it's just a 0.5 point. Take it, don't worry about it. And then the next thing would be a 2-leg parlay. That's Denver's -3 spread for the game. And then I'm going to add in Aaron Gordon over 5.5 rebounds. He's bigger than the guys that he's guarding. It's pretty much as simple as that, and he will get his rebounds. I feel confident on. I was initially looking at Butler under 6.5 rebounds, but I have been bitten way too many times betting against Butler, so no thanks on that. But Nuggets -3 for the spread. Aaron Gordon over 5.5 rebounds. That's going to give me +201. +201. So hopefully you can double your money up there, and then also have a little bit of extra for the Nuggets for first quarter.
All right. I like that. I heard +201 at the end. That always makes me happy. A little plus money. We got Lily joining us here. Hi, Lily.
Hi.
So, Colin, did I hear that you are taking the Nuggets?
Yeah, so taking Nuggets first quarter spread, it's a 0.5 point, and then I've got a 2-leg parlay that's Nuggets -3 for the game spread, plus Aaron Gordon over his rebounds, 5.5 rebounds, and that gets me +201.
Okay. All right. So it looks like Colin and I are both on the Nuggets tonight.
Now why, Colin? Why would we both say that?
Because they're the better team.
Yeah. Yeah, you think that's funny? Yes, I agree. They are, and hopefully they show it tonight and they play like it. All right. Well, y'all, those are our official picks for the game tonight. Like we always say, listen to what we said, see if you agree. Bet responsibly. Let's win some money.
Let's do it.
All right. Thank you for joining me. we'll see y'all on the next show.
Peace.
See ya.